Welcome everyone. Thank you guys for joining me. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kadeen. Some people call me Kay, some people call me Honey, Clarky, Honeygun, Nursey. But yeah, that's me. I'm a mom to 3 biological kids. I got 2 bonus kids plus my niece, whom I am currently mothering at the time. So I have a full house. Wouldn't have it any other way. I love each and every one of them dearly. But I'll be focusing mainly on my middle child. Yes, I'll be, talking about my entire family or my kids, but the main focus will be on my middle child. His name is Khalil. He's 9 years old. He is specially abled. A lot of people may not know this. People probably see him and think, oh yeah, he's a little bit smaller than the usual 9-year-old, or he's a little bit delayed. But in reality, he does have a medical condition. He's specially abled. He was diagnosed with cerebral palsy shortly after birth, and he has seizure disorder. He's developmentally delayed. So I wanted to focus on like his day-to-day challenges and of course accomplishments, how we navigate life with him in school, in home, his health issues, his appointments, because trust me, it's a lot. So let me start at the beginning. My first son, he's away in the Navy. That's my husband's first child. Then we have my husband's daughter, his big daughter, Jessica. She's 18. We have my oldest son, DJ, who's about to turn 17. We have Abigail, who's my niece. She's 16. Then there's Khalil. That's my middle child, the one I told you guys I'll be focusing on. He's 9. And then there's Princess Jadine, the baby. She's 5 years old. You guys will get a chance to meet each and every one of them at some point. And then there's my husband, Jason. So Khalil was born in Jamaica. It was, let's say, a normal pregnancy for the most part. A few issues here and there, but nothing major, nothing that would have prepared me for the outcome. But as mothers or as parents, when we get pregnant, I guess nobody, whether or not the pregnancy is difficult or not, nobody expects to get an outcome of a child who we all expect to have a healthy, bouncy baby. That's the only thing in our minds when we get pregnant. But in reality, that's not life. We have to expect the unexpected. And I don't want anyone to mistake my platform as me complaining or as me looking for help or anything like that. It's not. My reason for doing this is to enlighten people, because I don't even know if a lot of people in my family or my extended family really have facts where Khalil's health concerns go. As I said, a lot of people see him, they know something is wrong, but they don't know what's wrong, because I'm a very private person and I am probably a problem solver. So if there's a problem, I'm gonna do my best to fix it. I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna go crying to anybody or anything. I do what I gotta do and I push forward. And that's how my son is. As much as he is challenged with his day-to-day activities, he still tries everything. He still tries to function. He does everything like any normal child, you know. And I love that. I love that about myself. I love that about my kids. I love that about him, because had it not been for the fact that he was such a fighter, he wouldn't be where he is today. Because I've never met another individual with the condition that Khalil has. Yes, I've met people with cerebral palsy. I've met kids with cerebral palsy, but it's either it's one extreme where they do not do anything for themselves. They're laying like, you know, they can't function, or it's to the other end where yes, they do function. They just have the diagnosis. But Khalil falls somewhere in the middle. He does walk, he does talk. He's potty trained, he feeds himself, he functions to an extent at school. Yes, he's slower than his what's expected for his age group, but to be where he's at now, knowing where he's coming from, it couldn't be anything but God. So we're grateful, and I will forever be grateful, and I will continue to push. I will continue to fight with him. I'll continue to do everything that I can with him and for him that's necessary to help him to go through his, or to navigate through his day-to-day life. So back to where I was, you know, in my third trimester, like 2 weeks before my due date, one day I was at work, and I just noticed, like later in the evening, it just dawned on me, like, I haven't felt the baby move all day. You know, and I told my mom, and we spoke about it, and I said, listen, I'm not gonna wait, I'm gonna go into the hospital. So I took my stuff, checked into the hospital. They ran all the tests, you know, they attached me to the machines and everything, and then they found out that yes, there's no fetal movement and his heart rate is below normal. So the doctor at the time, she suggested a emergency cesarean section. So I went to the operating theater. They did what they had to do, got the baby out. Baby came out. He was not as bouncy as he should have been, so they had to do what they had to do. He was admitted to the pediatric unit. He wasn't maintaining his oxygen levels. His saturations were dropping, so he had to be on oxygen therapy. Next day, doctor came to me, told me he had to be transmitted to the children's hospital. So it was a whole thing. I was discharged early after getting a C-section. You know, in a third world country, it's not the same as in the first world country. It's completely different. It's hard, but you got to do what you got to do. So that's what I did. My baby was in the pediatric hospital for the first 2 weeks of his life, and that's where he got a diagnosis. After they did a scan on his brain, they found out that he was oxygen deprived in his frontal lobe for some time. So it was kind of a touch and go. Doctors said there's no guarantees. You have to keep an open mind. It's a 50-50 chance. He may walk, he may not walk, he may talk, he may not, but you know, that's where it was. Fast forward when he was 4. Well, let's not go that far. He did not start sitting up until he was like 9 months. He took his first steps at a year and 6 months. So, you know, at that point, everything started to sink in, like, yes, this is what we're dealing with, you know. So we had to start figuring out ways how to, you know, do our own form of therapy back home in Jamaica and stuff like that, because that's not something that was readily available back there. But when he was 4, we migrated to the United States, and that's where things really took off for him or for us. He started having seizures, like when he got a fever, he would go off into what you'd call an absent seizure. It's not really like the ones that you'll see the entire body jerking or anything like that, but he'll like start to stare off into space, and he would have twitching in his arm or stuff like that, but you know that he's unaware of anything that's happening around him. So he was diagnosed with seizure disorder, put on his medications and stuff like that. Even on medications, he still kept having seizures. But as we go along, you'll get more information on all of that. I don't want to overwhelm you guys with too much on the first video. But came here, we got into the system, got him into the system. He got an IEP in school where he was registered for special education. He had a one-on-one paraprofessional in school to assist him with his day-to-day activities. He got in therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy, everything. So at this point, he's doing so much better, I must say. He is, to the point where sometimes he gets so sassy, you couldn't believe. But we're coping, we're managing. And once again, I want to say the reason I created this platform, the other night I was at work, and you know, even the strongest person at times experience a moment of weakness. And I was at work the other night, and I felt so overwhelmed when I started thinking about everything with him from birth up to now, and everything that he's been through, and you know, and I was scrolling through my gallery, and I was looking at the pictures of him in the hospital, and the last trip we had to the ER where he almost died, with the EMTs having to almost resuscitate him and everything. And this voice came to me to say, create this channel, you know, maybe put this out there to hopefully inspire somebody, you know, and of course be inspired. Because as I said, I never met anyone who's in this present situation that I'm in. I would love to network with other moms or even dads, anybody who's going through what I'm going through, and hopefully my life story or life story will inspire somebody, help us to come together and probably figure out a way how to get better for our kids, and bring some light into this medical condition or into any other medical condition that especially able the child has, and to just help to strengthen moms and families out there who have to deal with this on a day-to-day basis. And again, I say, I'm not complaining. I love my son to the moon and back. I would do anything for him. I do anything for him. And I never question God, because everything happens for a reason. And this little boy has taught me so much about love, unconditional love, unwavering faith, you know, fighting for what you want, never giving up. So everything in life happens for a reason, and we have to take our downfalls as lessons, and we have to use it to empower ourselves to be better versions of ourselves. Especially as parents, we got to do that for ourselves and for our kids. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for listening. And the only thing I'm asking is that you share this, because as I said, I want to reach to people who are experiencing the same thing, and the only way to do that is to get this out to a wider platform, you know, so that whoever needs to hear this will hear this. So thank you for tuning in. Please like the video, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. God bless you. Thank you.